Folks, now is a great time to learn about your nature beyond just the emotions, especially beyond your psychology, beyond fears, stress, anxiety. Now is a great time with this Pisces eclipse to really understand the nature of karma, time, timelessness. We're all being challenged to surrender and let go of that which is not real. And the agency through which unreality comes into our mind is through the emotional attachments. It's not to judge our emotions as being bad, because of course we have them. In fact, it's not even like we have emotions. For the most part, we are emotions. We are how we feel when we're living through this separate mindset and this separate existence. But there is that which is beyond. And now that's what we're being challenged to connect with. That capacity to surrender and let go. But what are we letting go of? What are we escaping from? Are we escaping from the discomfort of what I'm describing right now? Because many people will hear me talk about emotions and that you're not just your emotions, and they don't like that idea. So they want to hang on to that notion that, well, but who am I without my feelings? But are we willing to surrender that, particularly our psychology, all of our strategies through the ego? So that's what I'm going to be talking about here briefly today before this eclipse. It's like a last minute Pisces eclipse primer. The other thing I wanted to do is invite people to this class that I'm teaching. It's free on the Saturn and Pisces. It's a web class that you can come to. And all you need to do is register for it here, the Saturn in Pisces. It'll be a live class. It'll be on March 31st at 6 p.m., but you'll have access to the recording. It'll be for all 12 moon signs. I'm going to be focusing on the moon and the nature of Saturn in relationship to the moon. For example, things like Sade Sati and other things that connect us with our emotions and our fears, fearful emotions, Saturn, moon. And it's so this is something, it's free. You go to saturnshift.com. You'll see the link below and register for that. You can attend live on Monday, March 31st at 6 p.m. and also have access to the recording. But to see how this shift of Saturn into Pisces for the next couple years is going to affect you, because that's really what we need to be looking at. As I have this screen that says beyond emotions, beyond psychology, beyond fear, you better get used to this idea right now, whether you like it or not, because that's where we're heading with this Saturn going into Pisces for the next couple years. And in fact, I'm recording this on Friday, March 28th. Saturn is moving into Pisces March 29th. It's going to be tomorrow. So we're right on the cusp of that. So what do I mean when I say beyond psychology, beyond fear? We have to be careful not to just think that our emotional state and that's the spirit, that spirituality is the same as emotions. Like we feel this way, so that's my spirituality. And it's very easy to get these things confused. Beyond the realm of emotion and deeper than the churning of how life feels to us, there's a place of stillness and silence and peace that's not emotional. Now, usually when we hear things like that, or often when we hear things like that, it sounds like we're talking about controlling our emotions and running from them, or people will think, well, but you got to experience it. You got to go through it. You got to, work on it. That's not what it's saying. There's no bypassing in connecting to the heart. The heart is peaceful and still. Understand the difference between what I'm saying, the heart, and what I'm saying, emotions. The heart is that place of pure love and depth of feeling. Emotions are on the surface, and we analyze our emotions and our psychology, often thinking we're analyzing ourselves kind of spiritually. And I'm telling you, I do a lot of work, a lot of readings, and a lot of interactions with people. And when they describe spirituality, they're usually describing their psychology and what they do to try to manage their psychology. Spirituality is like, well, I read this, or I believe that, or I follow this, or usually it doesn't say I meditate or this or that. It's usually, here's what I believe in to help, and this belief helps me feel better. Some version of that. This is not spirituality in the highest sense. And again, it's not a judgment. But the reason it's important now is because these are the things we need to let go of. Letting go of illusion, letting go of confusion. That's what Pisces is about. That's what this Pisces eclipse is about. And even after the eclipse is gone, when Saturn sets up in Pisces, that's going to be the theme for the next couple of years. So it's not a matter of whether you like hearing it or it's comfortable for you. This is the reality, is the depth of heart, the depth of feeling is not connected to your psychology, to your emotions even. It's transcendent purity of heart and love and bliss that is not related just to the karma of this lifetime. You see, I have a chart here that says karmic frame. This was from my book, Yoga and Vedic Astrology, where I talked about predeterminism, which creates circumstances from the past framing the present moment. Then we're in the present moment. Then we take actions, which is the karma, based on everything that's led before. We're now in this moment. The moment is in between karma, the past, and the future. Then we have these circumstances in the present moment that are ready for action, ready for us to act upon. Then those actions in the present create the future in the near sense and in a very long sense. And then those past actions get ready to ripen for the present moment and create the circumstances from the past that leads to the next moment. So I'm talking about this because this is what Saturn is really about. And Saturn moving into Pisces. Again, Pisces is mostly the sign of surrender. This is the thing that's not talked about as much as it should. It's not just emotions. It's feeling, but it's surrendering false emotional attachment. Again, Cancer is very much about attachment, about emotional attachment, like a mother's attachment to the child. Even Scorpio is where we're kind of at war with our emotional attachments and trying to get free of our emotional attachments. These are the water signs. And then Pisces is where we're trying to let go of the emotional attachments. Again, if that sounds sad to you, let go of our emotions, but that's who I am, but that doesn't sound right. You're bypassing. No, you're not just the emotions, you're the devotion. So when you let go of all the emotions and all the drama that gets churned up, all the emotional drama that gets churned up, you let go of that, then you sink to the depth of feeling, which is not only beyond your emotions and beyond your personal psychology and beyond your fear in this lifetime. It's also beyond the karma of this world, because ultimately that's what Pisces is. It's that aspect of consciousness that is liberated, that already has one foot in the other world and is trying to let go of the attachment to the feeling that, yes, these feelings are me. I am these feelings. I am this history on this earth of this person who was born to these parents who had these things happen that I can feel and I remember. And now I'm carrying around all these feelings, and that's who I am. This jumble of feelings through a body. Again, surrendering that, letting go of that, feels like letting go of everything. Well, who am I without that? That's me. No. That's your karma in this lifetime. And understand something, karma is not that complicated to understand. In many ways, it's what you've done and how you feel about it and how it makes you feel. And you need to keep cooperating with karma in order to keep karma going. Right now, when Saturn goes into Pisces, he's trying to liberate us from this attachment to time as past and future, past and future. Understand that time is not in the present. Time is just past and future. And your ego needs this time. This past and future is the space through which your ego moves. Your ego, your separate self, which includes your body and your feelings, needs that space. It needs that time to move. Without time, there's no ego, and there's no karma, and there's no suffering. There's just timelessness, just the moment. And you see, even in this diagram, the moment is really what's at the center of everything. The moment just keeps happening all the time. And around this moment, this karmic frame is wrapped around every moment. And this karmic frame is nothing but a referendum on time, past and future, predetermined from the past, projecting toward the future. This seems like, okay, this is life. No, this is life as we experience it through the ego. And the main agency through which we experience time through the ego is our emotions, how it feels to us, what we feel like doing, right? And again, so surrendering this entire frame, this entire matrix of time, of predeterminism and presence, and notice I don't call it karma and free will. In more layman's terms, this would be where it says predeterminism, it would say karma, and presence would be free will. I don't call it karma and free will. I call it predeterminism and presence. Those are the two axes around which we enter the moment, because the moment, again, is transcendent. The moment isn't past and future, it's vertical. Deeper and higher at the same time. You go both deep and high in the present moment. And again, so if you want to get more insight in, I'm going to be talking about these things, especially how karma feels to us, particularly through those agencies of our psychology and our fears, and entering the cosmic moment on this free class. And I'm also going to be talking about how this shift of Saturn into Pisces is going to affect everyone based on your moon sign. And I'm also going to be talking deeply about Saturn's relationship to the moon in what's called Sade Sati, and also the moon, and how we really analyze the moon and analyze our psychology. It's not hard to do, but it's very important to see the psychological structure, psychological process, and the anchoring structure that's shown in Vedic astrology. It's very systematic. And so, again, that's a free class. You could just go to saturnshift.com. You'll see the link here. But this is really the thing to be focusing on in this Pisces eclipse. Pisces is about the surrender. And I want you to, again, to ponder the capacity to surrender your emotional story, your emotional psychology. And I'm also doing this because, my God, everywhere I see, everything is like, even those who are using sidereal astrology, especially in Western astrology, it's Aries eclipse, so it's new beginnings, new beginnings. Okay. So many of the Vedic ones now, because Vedic is mixed with Jungian psychology, and Vedic is mixed again with analysis and Western. It's all psychology now. It's barely even astrology anymore, meaning that the zodiac signs aren't based on things like gunas and elements and planetary rulers. All of it is just psychology at this point. And it's very easy for us to think that Pisces, time to work on your psychology, your feelings, emotions, process emotions. Pisces is not about processing emotions. That's more than anything, that's Scorpio. Processing, working on our emotions, and kind of having this a little bit at war with our emotions. Pisces is about surrender. Understand, it's letting go of the false emotional story, letting go of the emotional attachment. And by the way, the most emotional attached is Scorpio because it's literally a fixed sign, fixed water. Fixed is attached, water, emotions. So again, that's why, for example, Scorpio energy, people with a lot of Scorpio energy, they just love to make everything about psychology, like, because that's what they're doing. They're just analyzing their emotions all the time, and that's fine. There's a lot of change and transformation that can happen, but Pisces is not that. Everything isn't just a big jumble of confusion. The planets, I'm sorry, the signs have a modality. They have a nature. They're ruled by a certain planet. Jupiter is the ruler. It's a fixed, I mean, it's a dual sign. It's about surrender, letting go, elevating emotion into devotion, into bhakti, into that present moment where there's peace, love, not drama. So, and again, this is all played out in Sanatana Dharma, in what's called Sankhya philosophy. I've been teaching this forever. I just wanted to come and make this quick video before the eclipse because Saturn is like moving into Pisces now. And again, of course, because it's the day before the eclipse, I see so many posts now and it's all so psychological. You can live in alignment with your psychology and have a lot of attachment to how you feel about everything. That's not your potential. Your potential is not psychology. It is consciousness. It is awareness, which is deeper than just psychology. So again, I invite you to check out the Saturn in Pisces web class. This will really benefit you, whatever your moon sign is. Also, because you're going to learn deeply about how the moon is connected to Saturn and living life beyond fear and attachment to emotion. For a limited time, I'm offering 10 hours of masterclasses, Yoga and Vedic Astrology, Quantum Vedic Astrology, and Spiritual Astrology Masterclass. These are 3 great courses that will really help you a lot. Now, in case you don't know who I am, I taught the AstroVed certification course, Dattatreya Shiva Baba, in 2010. Ravi Shankar published my book in 2018. I've been around for decades. I've been teaching these great classes, and if you go to VedicAstrologyEssentials.com, you can get this 90% off discount of these 3 great classes, more than 10 hours, guaranteed value. You can check this out. These 3 classes will give you all the necessary tools to begin to learn Vedic astrology. Please find me on YouTube at Sam Geppi, Vedic Astrology Teacher. On there since 2007, thousands of hours of classes. Also on Facebook at Astrology Teacher, tons of articles updated regularly, and I'm on Instagram at Vedic Astrology 108, ongoing updates and interaction.